It was a beautiful Tuesday morning. The sun shone brightly over New York City. September 11th, 2001 began like any other day. But this day would be forever seared into the world's memory. At 8:46 a.m. Eastern Time, the unthinkable happened. American Airlines Flight 11, en route from Boston to Los Angeles, crashed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center. The impact between the 93rd and 99th floors sent shockwaves through the city and beyond. People stopped in their tracks, staring in disbelief at the plume of smoke billowing from the gaping hole in the iconic skyscraper. Was it an accident? A terrible mistake? The world watched, holding its breath, waiting for answers. As firefighters and other first responders raced towards the burning North Tower, a second plane appeared in the sky. Just 17 minutes after the first impact, at 9:03 a.m., United Airlines Flight 175, also from Boston and bound for Los Angeles, slammed into the South Tower. This time, the impact was lower, between the 77th and 85th floors. The world watched in horror, the awful truth sinking in. This was no accident. America was under attack. Inside the towers, chaos and terror reigned. Thousands of people were trapped above the impact zones, the escape routes blocked by fire and debris. Desperate calls were made from offices and stairwells, voices filled with fear and uncertainty. Firefighters, police officers, and paramedics charged into the inferno, their courage and selflessness a beacon of hope in the face of unimaginable disaster. At 9:37 a.m., as the world reeled from the attacks on New York City, a third plane hit its target. American Airlines Flight 77, en route from Dulles International Airport to Los Angeles, crashed into the west side of the Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia. The impact on the first floor caused a massive explosion and fire, sending a thick column of black smoke into the sky. The Pentagon, the very symbol of American military might, was also under attack. The impact caused a partial collapse of the building and ignited a ferocious fire that took hours to contain. Inside, military personnel and civilian employees scrambled for safety, many trapped in their offices by the collapsing structure and intense heat. First responders, many of whom had rushed to the Pentagon from nearby jurisdictions, faced a scene of unimaginable devastation. The fourth and final plane involved in the 9/11 attacks did not reach its intended target. United Airlines Flight 93, scheduled to fly from Newark, New Jersey to San Francisco, took off late and was hijacked about 40 minutes into its flight. The passengers and crew, learning of the attacks on the World Trade Center and the Pentagon, fought back against the terrorists. Their bravery, their refusal to let their plane be used as a weapon of mass destruction, prevented an even greater tragedy. At 10:03 a.m., Flight 93 crashed into a field near Shanksville, Pennsylvania. The impact created a large crater and scattered debris over a wide area. All 40 passengers and crew members perished, but their actions saved countless lives. The target of Flight 93 is believed to have been either the U.S. Capitol building or the White House in Washington, D.C. The heroism of the passengers and crew, their willingness to sacrifice their own lives to save others, became an enduring symbol of hope and resilience in the face of unimaginable evil. The immediate aftermath of the 9/11's attacks was a blur of shock, grief, and disbelief. The world watched in horror as the Twin Towers collapsed, the once mighty skyscrapers reduced to mountains of rubble and ash. The death toll mounted, each lost life a story of love, dreams, and futures cut short. President George W. Bush, addressing the nation later that day, declared war on terrorism. The United States, he vowed, would hunt down those responsible for the attacks and bring them to justice. The world mourned with America, offering condolences and support in the face of this unprecedented tragedy. Flags flew at half-mast, vigils were held, and people from all walks of life came together to grieve, to heal, and to find strength in the face of unimaginable loss. Section 6. Retaliation and Resolution. The 9/11 attacks had a profound impact on the United States and the world. In the immediate aftermath, the U.S. launched the War on Terror, invading Afghanistan to topple the Taliban regime, which had harbored al-Qaeda, the terrorist group responsible for the attacks. Osama bin Laden, the mastermind behind 9/11, became the world's most wanted man. The attacks also led to significant changes in airport security and intelligence gathering. The Transportation Security Administration, or TSA, was created to enhance security measures at airports across the country. The Patriot Act, a controversial piece of legislation, expanded the government's surveillance powers in the name of national security. The world, forever changed by the events of 9/11, grappled with a new era of terrorism and the challenges of balancing security concerns with civil liberties. Section 7. The Lingering Shadow of 9/11. The physical and emotional scars of 9/11 run deep. The collapse of the World Trade Center released tons of toxic dust and debris into the air, exposing first responders and residents of Lower Manhattan to a deadly cocktail of carcinogens. In the years since the attacks, thousands of people have been diagnosed with respiratory illnesses, cancers, and other health problems linked to their exposure to the toxic dust. The mental health toll of 9/11 is equally profound. First responders, many of whom witnessed unimaginable horrors, continue to struggle with PTSD, depression, and survivor's guilt. Families of the victims, forever haunted by the loss of their loved ones, seek solace in memories and the support of others who share their grief. The long-term health impacts of 9/11 serve as a stark reminder of the human cost of terrorism and the enduring legacy of that tragic day. Section 8. Remembering the Fallen, Honoring the Heroes. Today, the world remembers 9/11 with solemnity and reverence. At Ground Zero in New York City, where the Twin Towers once stood, the 9/11 Memorial and Museum stands as a poignant tribute to the victims and the heroes of that day. The names of the 2,977 people killed in the attacks are inscribed in bronze panels surrounding two reflecting pools, marking the footprints of the fallen towers. The Pentagon Memorial, located just outside the Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia, features 184 illuminated benches, each dedicated to a victim of the attack. The Flight 93 National Memorial near Shanksville, Pennsylvania, commemorates the heroism of the passengers and crew who fought back against the terrorists. These memorials, and countless others around the world, serve as sacred spaces for reflection, remembrance, and a reaffirmation of the indomitable spirit of humanity. Section 9. The Enduring Legacy of 9/11. The legacy of 9/11 continues to shape the world today. The attacks led to a global shift in security measures, intelligence sharing, and the fight against terrorism. The events of that day also sparked important conversations about tolerance, understanding, and the need to bridge cultural divides. On this 24th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks, we remember the victims, honor the heroes, and reaffirm our commitment to creating a more peaceful and just world. The memory of 9/11 serves as a reminder that even in the face of unimaginable darkness, the human spirit can endure, rebuild, and emerge stronger than before. We must never forget the lessons of that day, lessons about the fragility of life, the importance of unity, and the enduring power of hope.